Shanti everyone. Good evening. So today it's 26th January and we Indians celebrate it as a Republic Day. So happy Republic Day to all of you. Okay. So like every month we get together to enlighten us about various concepts, topics about spirituality by the senior member of the family. So we would like to welcome all of you to our webinar, Life in a New Perspective. But before that, here goes an introduction about Brahma Kumaris. Most of you must be knowing Brahma Kumaris is a worldwide spiritual organization dedicated to personal transformation and world renewal. We at Brahma Kumaris practice and learn Raj Yoga meditation, which is simply the connection between soul and the Supreme Soul. So it relaxes the mind, nurtures a healthy balance between our inner and outer world, which will give depth and quality in our lives. So now total we have 21 wings under RERF, that is Raj Yoga Education and Research Foundation, to serve different sectors of the society, and IT is one of them. So IT wing is dedicated to empowering IT professionals like us to achieve balance in their personal and professional life by implementing Raj Yoga principles. Moving on to our topic, what first thought comes to mind when we think of the life from a completely new perspective? So life is not at all same that of a few years back. So now it is time to look at the life from a new perspective to adjust to the changing world. So even though many of us have set the new resolution, but a certain direction to that goal is required. So in this session, we will learn about all those new perspectives and how to apply all those perspectives in our life by our senior meditation teacher and management trainer, DK Sister Suman. So we would like to say two lines about Sister. She loves to socialize with everyone with sweetness in her voice and possesses a strong leadership quality. She has dedicated her life to Brahma Kumaris for the cause of service to humanity immediately after completing her Bachelor of Engineering degree in 1992. She is also a National Coordinator of Education Wing under RERF and also one of the main speakers at many national and international conferences held in Mount Abu every year. Along with that, she is a trained and conducting the courses in self-managing leadership, stress management, communication skills, living values, etc. in various organizations, institutions, and industries. So we welcome Sister Suman. And before starting the actual agenda, we would like to request everyone, please switch on your cameras so that we can have a good communication. So, Om Shanti, Sister.
Om Shanti. Om Shanti and good evening to everyone. As Sister mentioned, I would like to request all of you to switch on the camera so that I can feel that, okay, I'm speaking to people rather than just speaking to the screen. And a very good Republic Day wishes for all of you. It's such a significant day today for our country when the Constitution was finalized and it was implemented. And also it was a very significant day for all of us here in Gyan Sarovar in our Brahma Kumaris, because we just finished one of the very senior brother's funeral today. The brother Subhash, he was a very senior brother in Brahma Kumaris here in Gyan Sarovar. He was around like 59 years, not quite the age to leave body, but all of a sudden, like he had an heart attack and he left body. And we just finished that funeral this afternoon. And now it's a topic, like it is very relevant topic today, relevant to the situations that are happening in our lives, to look at life in a new perspective. So when we look at this word, perspective, we need to have a perspective of anything and everything in our lives. For example, when we look at anything, like when we take a thing and if we look at this thing in one perspective, it looks quite different. And in different angles, it looks differently, right? So to take and to understand this particular thing completely, we need to have an overall perspective, right? So even in our lives, if we look at our lives in one particular perspective, in one particular angle, it looks differently. We understand life in a different way. And if we look at life in another angle, it might give a totally different understanding. So the meaning of perspective, the dictionary meaning of perspective is point of view, or looking through a particular angle, or perceiving things, or looking at an object in a new dimension, right? So let us understand how to look at life in a new perspective. For that, let us try to understand what is life, right? Different people look at life in a different ways. But overall, when we look at life, just as I said, I just finished a funeral. I just finished our funeral, and we came just now. So when we are going through that period, we have maybe very limited disinterest. We call it as smashani vairagya. Then we see, life is all about, one day we all have to go. Life is just, just like this. Okay. We feel so much of a disinterest about life. But after a few days, we come back to our routine and we start to live as though we are not going to die at all. Right? So when we look at life, it's this lifespan between our birth and death. Right? One day we are born to our parents, as a small child, and we grow, we become young adult, and we pass on, like we grow, and then one day we have to shed our body, right? So it's a beautiful journey from birth to death, right? And each one of us have that limited lifespan. This birth and death is not in our hands, right? We can't control our birth nor our death. Both these two incidents, or these two what we can say items, we can't control. It's not in our control. The only thing which is in our control is how are we going to have this journey. That is in our control, right? So for some, this journey might be 80 years, 90 years, 100 years. For some, this journey might end like drastically. at 50 years, 60 years. When we went through this COVID, we saw so many people living body. Their life journey just ended drastically. So we can say this life is very unpredictable, right? We don't know when this life is going to end. So why not make this life, make this journey of life beautiful? Because life is not a race, right? There is always some person who is more fortunate than me, or there's always a person who is less fortunate than me. So in this world, there are a variety of people, and we are somewhere in between. There are people fortunate than us. There are people less fortunate than us. But then when we think, okay, I need to be better than that person, so it's a race. When we see it as a race, then there is always a tension. There's always stress. And I can't be better than everyone around me, right? There's always someone better than me. And also, when we look at nature, even the birds are better in some aspects. They can fly. Some animals are better than me. They can run faster, right? So when I look at the inclusive vision of the whole world or the whole universe, including me, so life is all about peaceful coexistence of everyone together. So life is full of experiences, right? So when we make beautiful experience and beautiful memories, so those are the beautiful experiences that will be having in our lives. And also there would be many situations which would be coming in front of us. Might be some are pleasant situations, some are not so pleasant situations. In those pleasant situations, we are happy. In unpleasant situations, we are not so happy. So when we look at those situations as learning opportunities, so then we can learn lessons and move ahead, right? So I see life as a beautiful opportunity to learn our lessons. Many of us might be having this question: what is the purpose of my life? Different people might be having different purposes in life. But I look at my life as an opportunity to learn many lessons in my life. Yeah, we learn many things, right? From different people, different situations, even from small children, we learn a lot. So when we keep our minds and hearts open, we definitely can learn a lot in our lives, and we can experience so much of happiness and bliss in our lives. So when we learn, then we grow in our lives. So let's learn to make a life a beautiful life and not just a living, right? Because there would be one point in our life where we just want to earn and we want to make our living. So people are racing to make a living. So let's not just make a living, but make a beautiful life out of this, birth that we are having. And also let's add life to our years and not just years to our lives, right? Because of our medical science, our span of life has increased. Previously people would, the span of life would be And on an average, it would be like 60 years. Now it has increased to 80 years. So they've increased the years, but have we increased life in our years? Right? Are we really enjoying our life, or just we are living for the sake of living? Right? Are we really enjoying every moment of our lives? That's a question to ask for each of us. We need to ask within ourselves, am I enjoying each moment? And sometimes, there was a very beautiful, a very eminent poet, Roosevelt. He has written beautiful lines. It says, like, first I was dying to finish high school and start college. Well, when we are young, we are, we want to grow old, we want to become big. So first I was dying to finish high school and start college. And then I was dying to finish college and start working. I mean, when we are in college, then we want to finish our college and we start earning, right? We want to start working. So I was dying to marry and have children. And then we want to marry and expand our family. And then I was dying for my children to grow old enough so that I can go back to work. Right? So yeah, when the children are young, so we are more focused on their upbringing, and they want them to grow older so that then I can start working again, or follow our passion. And then I was dying to retire, and now I'm dying towards the end of our journey, when we are on the deathbed, and then I'm dying, and suddenly I realized I forgot to live. Right? So we are rushing. We are rushing to achieve or to acquire the things that we don't have. Right? We are running and running and running behind some maybe ambitions or something or the other. So can we just pause and just look around and analyze our own life? What am I doing? Is this the way that I want to live my life? Or can I live in a much more better way? Can I make a little bit of changes in my life so that I can live happily? Because nothing is perfect in our lives. Sometimes we are so sad, we are so caught up in our wants and needs, and then we say, okay, I want this, I want that. Nothing is perfect. We will say, okay, when I have one car, then I'll be happy. If I have one house, then I'll be happy. If I get married, then I'll be happy. So happiness is not a destination, it's a journey, right? I need to make that decision. Can I be happy no matter what? Even if I don't have what I want, even if the situations are bad, can I be happy? So that's a challenge. So can I be happy in any and every situation? Can I be happy around everyone, no matter what? So if I make that the decision, then life becomes much more easier. Then the acceptance level will increase in our lives. So when we look at the whole journey, let us start from the ending. So I would like to share some points to maybe you can choose among those points to make your life better. So I want to start this with 10. I want to share 10 points, beautiful points, so that you can choose one among them or few among them for your life. So I want to start from the ending. I think most of us who are attending this talk might be like there are more than 25, 30 years of age. Might be they have seen their life, little bit of their lives, right? So can I ask you one particular question? How do you want your death to be? When you are about to leave the body, right? So what is the state of consciousness that you want to be in? What is the state of mind that you want to be in? Can you write in the comments? In the chat box, you can write. Visualize that you are on the deathbed, because that is a fact, right? Every one or the other day, each one of us have to leave the body. So when we are on the deathbed, what is it? In what consciousness, or what should be your state of mind? In what state of mind you want to leave the body? Somebody has written, I want to live with a smile on the face. I'm aware and my mind calm and live with a smile on the face. Anyone else? How do you want to leave your body? Because when we are living our body, it's like all the scenes of our lives will come up. How have I lived my whole life? If I have done something good, those scenes also would come up. And also if something bad has happened, those scenes also would come up. So the whole life, we summarize the whole life during those final moments, right? Just thought about our previous deed on that moment, completely detached. Yes. So if I want to die with a smile on the face, so how should my life be from now onwards? Whatever has happened, right? But from now onwards, how do I want my life to be? So if I want to have a smile on my face, I should be very much satisfied with what I have done, right? Whatever opportunities I've got, whatever challenges I have got, whatever karma I have done, I should be satisfied with my own actions, right? So can I be satisfied? How can I be satisfied? That satisfaction can come only by, doing good deeds, by sharing our experiences and giving happiness to others, right? So if I look at life as a race, then I won't have a smile on my face on my deathbed when I'm leaving the body. When I feel, okay, I lived my life to the fullest. I shared my experiences with others. I gave happiness according to my capacity. So then I'll be satisfied, right? So for today, let us have that visualization. Let us have that picture in our mind. I want to live my life, or I want to, during my last moment, I want to have a smile on my face. So if that is it, so then I will have to inspire others. I will have to give happiness to others. I have to share with others. That's the most important thing in our life. And the second point I would like to share is okay, if I have to share happiness, if I have to give happiness, I will have to experience that happiness from within. So, how am I going to experience that happiness from within? Because the happiest of people don't necessarily have the best of everything. They just make the most of everything that comes along their way, right? I remember one of our senior brothers in our organization, Jagdish Bhai. He was a very good writer. He was always thinking of what he can give to the people rather than what he wants in his life. He never wasted any time in his life. And whenever we used to visit him, he was a writer. He wrote lots of books, lot of literature he wrote. And he never expected that he should be having a table or a comfortable place for him to write. If only when I have a comfortable place, only then I can write. No. He always, sometimes also he used to sit on his bed, make his pillow as a table and write. And sometimes he used to share his experience. Once our Pritashri, Brahma Baba, who is a founder of the organization, Brahma Baba gave Jagdish Bhai one task of writing an article. And it was almost evening. And Brahma Baba told him, I want this article by tomorrow morning, 8 o'clock. So Jagdish Bhai said, okay, Baba, I will finish this article. So, but at night, that was a rule in the organization that at 10 o'clock, all the main power supply of the organization will be switched off so that everyone goes to sleep by 10 o'clock. So his room light was off by 10 o'clock and he hadn't finished his article. So then he thought, okay, so what should I do now? One is he can give an excuse of, okay, I couldn't finish by 10 o'clock. So this electricity was off. So I couldn't finish this article. It could give an excuse in that way. Another thing is, okay, he can go to the street light and sit there under the street light and finish the article. So then he chose the later. It was cold in Mount Abu. Winters is like really fierce. And he went to the street light, under the street light. He finished that article. And the next morning, he gave to Brahma Baba. He finished his article and gave. And Baba really appreciated him. Like sometimes we blame the situation. Sometimes we give our excuses that I don't have this particular facility and that's the reason I'm not able to do this. I'm not able to achieve certain targets because I don't have particular facility, right? So every time we don't really have all the facilities that we need, but do I have the drive to do things, right? So instead of here, let us look at life in this way. Instead of looking at what I receive, what I get, can I look at what is it that I'm giving to the society? If I'm always thinking of, oh, this person should talk to me properly, talk to me with love, that person should behave with respect to me. So if I'm expecting and wanting certain behaviors from others, I can't be happy. So instead of that, can I just switch? What is it that I'm giving throughout the day? At night, when I look at the day, how was the day? So can I see that instead of what I received, what is it that I have given to the people? Have I brought a smile on the face of at least one person today? So that really gives satisfaction. And this giving will, increase. If I give, then it will increase my treasures. That's why it is said, love begets love, happiness begets happiness, respect begets respect. Means the more I give, the more I get. That's uh, if I want to expand my treasures, then I will have to give happiness to others. And only then I can be happy in my life. And thirdly, when we are going through the journey of life, it's like walking through a tunnel, in a dark tunnel. And if I'm holding the torch and I'm walking through the tunnel, as I walk through, the path becomes much more clearer, right? So the path should be clear. The future should be clear for me to walk on. If I don't, decide my destination, I'll be confused. I don't know where to go. I'm always on the crossroad. So if I decide what is it that I want to achieve in my life, what is it that I want in my life, what is it that I want to become in my life, so then the path will be very clear. And also, there's a beautiful saying that when the why is clear, the how is easy. For example, if I want to become a doctor, why is it that I want to become a doctor? If that why is clear, then how is very much, easier. So in the same way, in our lives, why is it that I want to do a particular thing, anything that I want to do? So if I am clear about why is it that I want to do, then how becomes very much clear. In my life, when I decided to follow this path of spirituality, there were many questions going on in my mind. I was introduced to spirituality when I was 5 years old. My parents started to follow this path of spirituality when I was 5 years old. So as I grew old, there were many thoughts coming up on my mind. Of course, there was no pressure from my parents' part. That then they were very open. They always told me, you choose what you want to, then you will be responsible for your own life. So there were many thoughts going on, whether I want to choose this, that, whether I want to go on the spiritual path. So gradually, there was clarity in my mind. Yes, I want to follow this path of spirituality. And the question came, why? Why is it that I want to follow this path of spirituality and dedicate my life for this spiritual cause? The answer from within came that I want to spend my time with God. So when the why is clear, so then then it's very much, other things around it becomes very much more clearer, right? So the vision, when it is clear, then everything becomes much more easier. So I think that is very much necessary in our lives. And there won't be any other path or any other deviation in our lives, because it is very clear that I want to do this. Then my mind will be not divided from here or there. It will be completely focused on one particular thing. And the fourth thing, to go on this life journey very smoothly, is one is that, of course, the future should be very clear for me. And the other thing is clear my past. let go of the past hurts, let go of the past burdens. This is very much necessary to go on a journey which is very light. When we go on a journey, we carry our luggage, and we always make it a point to have light luggage. We don't want a heavy luggage. We don't want extra luggage. We only put those articles or those things in our suitcases, which is very much necessary for that journey, right? All the extra things we remove from that suitcase. But in our life journey, how is the luggage here? Is it heavy? Is it, do we have extra luggage here? If I am having extra luggage, then I'll have to let go of that. I'll have to remove that burden, because if there is a burden here, then the life becomes very heavy. Then if we ask, well, how's life? The answer would be, okay, life is going on. Ji rahe hain. It's happening. Well, there's no enthusiasm in that life. There's no lightness. There's no zeal and enthusiasm. There's no happiness. There's no lightness in life. So in order to travel light in this life journey, we will have to let go of all the extra luggages. To let go of that extra luggage, then I will have to forgive. There is a two-way in this. In this forgiveness, I will have to forgive the people who have hurt me, and I will have to ask for forgiveness to whom I have hurt, right? Because if I hurt someone, the vibrations of the sorrow, of their sorrow, will affect me. So I will have to ask for forgiveness. And if somebody has hurt me, I'm carrying that hurt, carrying that sorrow in my mind. So I'll have to let go of that. I'll have to forgive them. So only then I can let go of the past luggage and travel light in my life. And the fifth and most important is when we look at life on a overall basis, not from a one perspective or a one direction, but the overall perspective, we see that, life is like a table which has 4 pillars. If even one pillar of the table is short, the table is unstable. What are the 4 pillars of our life? Is Tan, Man, Dhan, and Jan. Am I giving energy equally to all of these? Tan is body. Healthy body is very much necessary, right? Man, healthy mind is very much necessary. Dhan, wealth. We can't live without wealth, right? Wealth is also very much needed. And Jan, people, relationship, right? So all these 4 aspects of life is very much needed. It's like 4 subjects in a course, right? When we study something, there are subjects. There would be subjects in that course. And if we score very high, more than 95% in one subject and fail in another subject, so we will not pass that, that degree or that class. We can't pass. We can't go on to the next class. In life also, these are the 4 subjects. But we focus mainly, nowadays we focus mainly on earning our wealth, earning money. And to some extent, we know about our body. We take care of our body. So how about mind, man, and how about people around me? Am I paying attention to all these 4 subjects of my life equally? The answer would be no, right? In one subject might be I'm scoring 95, 98, might be 100, but another subject like less than 35 maybe. So we will have to look at our own life and see to what subject am I'm not paying attention to, which is a subject that I'm neglecting. The answer would be mind and people. Hope you all agree to that, right? We, to some extent, we know about our body. We know how to earn money, but we hardly know about our own mind. And, we have a lot of problems with the relationships, right? So let us look at all these 4 aspects of our lives in a little bit different way, on a spiritual level. Okay. Firstly, how do we look at our body? Body is like, okay, it's a mechanism. It's like made up of bones, flesh, and blood and everything. But when we look at it on a spiritual level, let us look at it as like it's my costume. It is very, very valuable costume for me. If I'm riding a very expensive car, Rolls Royce, or even more expensive cars, of course, this body is also very valuable, right? But expensive car is in my garage, but the driver is not there. It's of no use, right? So body is there. Who is the driver of this car? Is the soul, the energy which is driving this car, right? So when I look at this body as my costume or a valuable car, then it's easy for me to take care of it as a detached observer. I'm the owner. I, the soul, I, the spirit, is the owner or the master of this expensive vehicle, valuable vehicle. So when I look at it in that way, then I value this body. Then I'll take care of this body in a much more careful way. Because I, the soul, can ride this body only when it is healthy. As I told, one brother left body just 2 days ago, right? Because of heart attack. Might be he didn't understand the signal that body was giving. He had the chest pain. If we had taken the help of the doctor immediately, he might have survived, right? So when I understand the signals of the body, then I can take care of the body on a much more efficient way. So this can happen when I detach from the body, look at it as my valuable costume, valuable vehicle, and then take care of it. So spirituality doesn't mean that you have to neglect your body. No, you have to take care of your body. Whatever is needed, it has to be given to it, but you have to discipline your body as well, right? So that is very much necessary. And the other aspect of life, the second subject of life, is dhan, wealth. So whenever we look at wealth, what is a thought that comes in your mind? How do you look at money? How do you look at the belongings, possessions, or wealth in your life? Yes, it is very much necessary. But do we allow that to overpower me? Or am I the master? I'm the owner or the controller of those possessions and money as well, right? That is why it is said that money is a good servant, but a bad master. If you allow that to overrule the self, then it is a bad master, right? So we should never allow that to overrule us. us. It has to be like we need to control it. It's a good servant. We use it as we want it, but we don't allow that to overrule me. Of course, we need to have respect. Sometimes people say, oh, I don't need money, I don't need wealth. They reject it. So when they reject, they don't allow the money to flow in their life. Neither reject, not go after it also. Like, okay, it's a good servant, but a bad master. I use it according to my need. Then, of course, that's it. So, but I'm the controller. I need to control it and not allow that to control my life. And we can multiply that by giving away, right? When I share it with others, it multiplies in my life. So we can look at money in that way. And the third aspect of our life, third subject, is the mind or the self. As I said, the mind, the soul. How am I taking care of it? Because one day I will have to renounce this body. I'll have to change my costume. But the soul's journey will go on, right? So this journey, I have this temporary address here. The soul has to go on to the next journey as well. But how am I giving time to my journey? Because if I'm not healthy, if the soul is not healthy, so then I won't be able to perform good karma. If I'm just focused on, superficial things, then one day all the superficial things I'll have to renounce and go. I wouldn't take my body to the next birth. I wouldn't take my possessions and the people for my next journey. No. What is it that I take along with me is my karma, right? So if I have to perform good karma, then I'll have to be powerful. If I have to be powerful, I'll have to be positive. I'll have to get rid of all the negative things, negative thoughts, negative feelings, negative emotions, negative attitudes. Negative and waste has to finish. Only then I can be positive and powerful, right? It is like a garden. In a garden, there are beautiful flowers, but there are weeds as well, right? So I will have to get rid of those weeds, which are like parasites, negative and waste. So when I get rid of negative and waste, I can be more beautiful, and I can be more productive, and I can be more efficient, right? So, for that, I'll have to reflect. I'll have to introspect, look into my mind again and again. What am I thinking? And channelize that towards positivity. And only then I can be powerful and beautiful. Many times we know what to do and what not to do, what is right and what is wrong. In spite of knowing what is right and wrong, we are not able to do what is right, right? I know that I should not be telling lies, but I'm tempted to do it, but because that's the easiest way to escape any problems, right? So, but telling truth, we will have to face the consequences of telling truth also. So I don't want to face the consequences. Then I want to find an easy way out, and it's easy for me to tell lies, right? I know I shouldn't be telling lies, but I'm tempted because I don't have that power to withstand. I don't have the power to face the consequences of my right actions. Yes. So through meditation, through self-reflection, through analysis, I can develop that strength within myself. And here comes, the silence. Silence is very much necessary to reflect upon, right? When we are running and running and running throughout the day, as soon as I wake up, I'm thinking, or what am I supposed to do? I'm doing, running and running. So then I don't get time to sit quietly, reflect. This is very much needed in our lives. It's just like sharpening my axe before cutting the wood. If I don't sharpen my axe before cutting the wood, so then I will have to take more time to cut the wood. If the axe is sharp, I will finish cutting the wood in a short span of time, right? The sharper my intellect is, more clear my mind and intellects are. So then more easier my karma would be, right? So that can happen though in those silent moments. I will have to take time off my busy schedule to reflect within myself, sit quietly, organize my thoughts. For example, like in a kitchen, all the things are haphazard. It's not organized. You will take more time to cook. Everything you have to, search. Where's the sugar? Where's the salt? Where's everything you have to look for and then cook. It will take long hours, long time. But if everything is organized, vegetables are where it is supposed to be, sugar, salt, everything is where it's very well organized. It will take very less time for you to cook, right? We know, because I know where these particular things are, so it is easy for me to approach and take those things. In the same way, if it is haphazard here, everything disorganized, so there's a lot of confusion. So then I can't arrive anywhere. But if it's organized, then it becomes much more easier in our lives. So organizing can happen only in silence. To clean up the kitchen, it takes time. We might find it unproductive to clean up the kitchen, but it is very much productive because when you start cooking, you can cook very easily, right? So to sit in silence and to organize our own thoughts, people might find it is unproductive. No, it is productive. To sharpen the saw, sharpen the axe, it's a productive job, productive action, right? So in the same way, cleaning up the mind, organizing it is also a productive task, right? So at least in 24 hours, spend 20 minutes in silence, in meditation, talking to the self, organizing things, and life becomes much more easier, right? And the fourth aspect of life is people, right? People are a very important aspect of our lives. We can't live alone, but the greatest challenges come in this area of people, relationships. And this is the most neglected area of our lives, right? So we need to pay attention to it. And the one mantra to have a beautiful relationship with each and every person in my life is love unconditionally. Can I love each and every person in our lives unconditionally? Why can't we love unconditionally? Is because we have taken hurt, right? We have taken sorrow from some people, some misunderstanding. But I was going through a beautiful saying, some person had written this: work like you don't need the money, love like you have never been hurt, dance like nobody's watching you, sing like nobody's listening, live like it's heaven on earth. All these phrases are very beautiful. But one phrase which really caught my attention is love like you have never been hurt, right? Can we love the people who have hurt us? Because it's because of the hurt that we carry, those thoughts would come up, and we can't love back because of the actions that they have done, the words that they have spoken. But irrespective of all of that, can I be unconditional, not expecting anything from anyone, but just giving that unconditional love to everyone? This is the mantra to have good relationship with others, having unconditional love. But I need love, right? Only when I am filled with love, I can give that unconditional, pure, spiritual love to each soul. I need to have that wealth first. Only then I can share with others. How am I going to fill my treasures? Is by remembering the ocean of love, the Supreme Being. He loves each and every soul unconditionally. He doesn't judge. The Supreme Being, God, He doesn't judge us. He loves each one of us unconditionally. So when I experience that unconditional, pure love from that Supreme Being, that it's like healing our own self, healing our minds and hearts. God's love has immense healing power. So when I heal myself with that selfless God's love and fill God's love within my heart, then I'm able to radiate that unconditional love to the world. And then you see how beautiful your life would be. There, I just want to give and give. There's no expectations. Whatever I want, I'm receiving from up above, from the Supreme Being, but I'm radiating that to the world. I'm receiving from up above and radiating out into the world. So when we own this mantra in our lives, then life becomes much more beautiful. So then I can experience these three things in our lives: purity, peace, and power. Yeah, all these three virtues are very much needed. Purity, purity of heart, purity of mind, purity of intention. When there's purity, then there is peace. When there is peace, then there is power. Without purity and peace, there can't be power, right? So then life becomes beautiful. With these few words, I hope you enjoyed the talk, and maybe it might be useful to you, at least, few points that you can implement in your life to make your life better. Om Shanti. Now I can invite some questions.
Yes, sister. So we have a sister Smita with us, and she will be reading out the questions. So, Om Shanti, sister.
Om Shanti.
Om Shanti. Anyone, any questions? Please direct to the host.
Yeah, we can take up questions for the next few minutes, and then we can go for meditation. Yeah. If you have any question, you can write it in the chat box or you can ask. I think there are no questions. If there are no questions, can we go? Can we move ahead and?
Didi, sister, there is one question. How to
Okay.
be able to manage work-life balance?
Yeah, that's a tact, right? That's a skill to have this work-life balance. Yeah, as I told you, when we look at life on a overall thing basis, paying attention to all the 4 aspects of our lives. And, sometimes we don't have to, when we are paying attention to one particular thing too much, then there's imbalance, then there's a lot of sorrow because of that. And so when there is imbalance, we see, okay, when we are young, we pay more attention to our professional life, earning our, livelihood and, and paying attention to our profession. We don't pay attention to our body, to our health, relationships. Other aspects are neglected. And when we get sick, then we spend that money to get healthier, right? So in order to gain one, we are losing another thing when we are not balancing properly. So it is very, very, actually, I wouldn't say that it's easy, but a little bit of attention, and if it's possible. It's an attention on a day-to-day basis. When it goes too much, then you pay attention, then to bring into balance, that takes a lot of effort. But every day, am I paying attention to all these 4 aspects of my life? So then life becomes much more easier. Not easiest, I can say, but, at least, our focus is towards all the 4 subjects of our life. Then we can balance our lives. Yes. And as I said, those quiet moments, silent moments are very much needed in our lives. If I'm more throughout the day, if I'm focusing mainly on doing, what am I going to do? What is it that I have to do? If I'm focusing mainly on doing, then I can't improve the quality of my life. If I want to improve my quality and have balance, proper balance, I will have to include these silent moments in between, which we call it as, sometimes we also call it as traffic controlling of thoughts. You don't have to spend too much time, but at least drops of time in between your busy schedule. It's very much necessary to spend in silent time. Spend that silent time, once I remember, when I was quite young and I was very new to this place, there was a conference happening, and I was quite busy taking care of many things during that conference. And towards the end of the 4th day, I was so tired mentally. not so physically, mentally, I was so tired. And I was sitting in my office, and there was a senior sister came into the office, and she was waiting for someone. I got to chat with her, and I shared what's happening in my life. I said, see, you people, I shared with her, you people are so busy, but you don't get tired. But for me, even after spending just 3-4 days of busy schedule, I get tired mentally. What is it I can do? Why is it that I'm getting tired so quickly? Then that sister gave me a very good, advice that day. She said, in between, practice being soul conscious. Go into the silent, go into that silence, detach from the body, be soul conscious. Practice being soul conscious at least for 1 minute or half a minute in between, and you will get recharged. The soul gets recharged, and you will have the energy. You will be recharged for doing work for next 2-3 hours again. So I practiced that, and it really works. It's like a miracle. It's like, taking a vitamin tablet, vitamin injection, instant injection, instant glucose, for the mind. Spending that silent moment with the self, detaching from the body, experiencing the self as a conscient being of peace, conscient being of purity, so that silent drops of time will really energize the mind, energize the whole body, and then you can really have the work-life balance very easily. So understanding who I really am. We are human beings, not human doings. So we focus more mainly on doing, on our karma, on our actions, rather than being. So in between, if I switch to being, that really energizes me to do good karma. So that's as a glucose for us.
Sister, there is another question. In this age of information technology, we have stress and anxiety of being competitive and targets. So how can we handle it?
Meditation. Yeah, of course, there is anxiety, there is stress. We will have to look at it. Why am I getting stressed? Why am I getting anxious? We will have to look at the reason for it in our own minds. Different, in the same situation, different people experience different emotions and different feelings, right? Why is it that a particular person is able to do more work, or why is that person more efficient than me? Or for example, in a class, a particular teacher is coming and teaching all the 30 students equally, but why is one person having first rank and another person having the 30th rank? Might be it's you can say IQ level differs, but in terms of life, it's EQ. What is my level of EQ, emotional quotient, emotional stability? If I'm emotionally stable, I will be able to withstand more stress. Just like, it's like a resilience of a metal. If the resilience of a metal is high, it can withstand more weight, right? In the same way, if my emotional quotient is high, I can withstand more stress, I can withstand more anxiety. But also it depends on the perception of life. How do we look at life? If I look at life as a challenge, as a race, as why other person is going ahead of me, why other person is more successful than me, why is other person more talented than me, so if there is comparison, then there is stress. When I look at life on a different level, then that anxiety and stress would decrease. So I'll have to identify the cause of stress in my own self, and then change that perception, change that drishtikon, viewpoint of life, and then life becomes much more easier. Having a wholesome view really helps us. Sometimes we are so much into the cat race or rat race, whatever you call it as, like when we go beyond and look at the whole universe, universe is so large, galaxy, so many planets and so many, like in so many planets, my planet Earth is a small planet there. And in that small planet, where is Mount Abu? I'll have to look. And in that Mount Abu, where am I? Like I'm like a tiny point in the whole universe. So sometimes we may give ourselves too much weightage. Like, I have to achieve everything. I want everything in my life. I want this and that. We can't have everything in our lives, right? So understand the whole of the universe, understand the whole of our lives, and then life becomes much more easier, right? So appreciate others, love others. Then, there won't be any stress, maybe the stress level will come down.
So there is another question. Then how do you actually take care of layoffs and uncertainties? Layoff uncertainties, especially that is prevailing in IT professional sectors.
Oh, I didn't get you. I think it's echoing. Like, how do we take care of
Layoffs, job layoffs, and
job
uncertainties.
layoffs and uncertainties? Yes,
related to the
life is uncertain, of course. After COVID, we are facing this even more, right? Yes, that's the beauty of life. We need to have faith in yourself, faith in the Supreme Being. Whatever happens, there is a reason to it. And might be we need to have a little bit of patience, and then a better opportunity might come in front of you. Of course, at present, we see, okay, I have been thrown out of my job. That's a big stress. But, if I have that faith in the self and the Supreme and in the universe, you might get a better job opportunity. Might be you need that period of waiting, is very hard. It's very difficult. You have lost one job, you haven't got another job. That in between time, it's like a trapeze artist in the circus. That person has left one rod and the person hasn't caught another rod. In between stage is very stressful. Of course, I can understand. But then faith can move mountains, and it will really yield you, give you a good result. And find a reason why this has happened. Like, of course, we have seen the reason that, they have to cut down. They have to, because of their own reasons. But when we are positive, don't think negative. Oh, why this has to happen only for me, not others. When my energy level becomes low, when I become negative, I attract even more negativity. But if I'm positive, okay, it has happened to me, doesn't matter. It's a difficult time, but everything will be good. Everything will be better in the future. So when my level of energy level is positive and powerful, then I attract positive energy. So then I can attract positive only when I'm positive. Just like water attracts water. When there's a water body, only there more rain would pour, right? Water attracts water. In the same way, positivity attracts positivity. If I'm positive, no matter what, I attract more opportunity. And secondly, gratitude attracts even more fortune. If I'm complaining, oh, I don't have this, I don't have that, I have this problem, I don't have that problem, then even whatever little was supposed to come towards me will go away. Instead of that, I'm having gratitude for what I'm having. When I look around, I'm better than many hundreds and thousands of people in the world, right? So if I'm grateful to God, what He has given me in my life, so I attract more positivity, more power, more treasures into my life. So maintain that positivity and gratitude, and you will attract more fortune in your life.
Sister, there are no more questions. If anyone has any question, they can mail it to bbsritwing IT wing. Over to you, BK Ritika, sister.
Yeah, so thank you so much, sister. She has beautifully explained us about the life, the aspects, and the factors which we have to look into. And I really hope we have a most beautiful point today with us so that we can implement those points and we can have a the perspective about the life. So thank you so much, BK Suma, sister. And sister, we can start with the meditation. Yeah.
Stabilize in the consciousness of the self. Detach your mind and intellect from the surroundings. And focus in the middle of your forehead. On the screen of your mind, try to visualize your own thoughts, your own life. The time you were born, till the present time. Look at the different events that happened in your life. A newborn baby, the soul is the same, a tiny point of light. The body is small. I'm born to a particular pair of parents. according to my karmic connections. It's a beautiful gift from God, gift of life. Try to visualize your childhood. Protective parents, shelter to protect me, and completely protected from the entire world. Beautiful childhood. Studying, playing, being mischievous, happy. As I grew older, my thought patterns started to change. More bigger friend circle, more responsibility of studies, but still happy. Trying to understand life and the world through my own eyes and intellect. Curious to understand everything. With the education, surroundings, certain belief systems were developed. We got limited with certain customs and rituals. That became the thought pattern. As I grew older, my thoughts were limited or confined within those four walls of beliefs that were created since childhood. So now let us look at life in a much more different and wholesome way. The life energy which is giving life to this body, that is me. With no labels of any religion, caste, creed, gender. I'm unique, beautiful, powerful. This body is just my costume, a valuable vehicle which I drive. This costume is needed for me to express my thoughts, feelings, and ideas. I, the soul, with this body, is called a human being or a person. This body is my longest companion from birth till death. The nearest to me. But I, the conscious point of light, the energy, is the master, is the controller, is who I really am. I am pure, peaceful, and powerful. Being in that consciousness, stabilizing in that awareness, I connect to my Supreme Father, who's also a point of light, but ocean in his attributes. I'm receiving the rays of purity, peace, and power from him. I'm absorbing God's energy, filling myself with his powers, and radiating that out to the world, to all the 4 areas of my life. My body becoming healthier, my mind becoming powerful and stable, and I'm the master of my wealth as well. I'm not allowing that to overpower me. But I'm the master. I use it when it's there, but it's okay when it's not there as well. I'm not craving for it. I'm not after it. I'm satisfied with the amount of wealth and possessions I'm having. And I'm ready to share that with others. More I give, more I get. My relationships with other human beings are also getting better because I'm looking at them as beautiful point of light, full of all virtues. But this vision, I'm exchanging energy, positive and powerful energies with everyone. And I'm having unconditional love for each and every soul who's connected with me. I'm constantly receiving that unconditional love from up above, the ocean of love. And I'm radiating that out into the world. Allowing my energies to expand. And to make this world a better place to live. Om Shanti, Shanti.
Om Shanti. So we are now at the ending of this session, and we would like to call Bhubaneswar brother, and he will be conducting the last part of the session. Om Shanti brother.
Om Shanti. Good evening, everyone. At the outset, I thank our Supreme Father, Almighty Shiv Baba, for giving us this beautiful evening with a wonderful sessions by Sister Suman. And today being Holy Republic Day and also Vasant Panchami. So I wish everyone a happy Republic Day and happy Vasant Panchami. I would like to thank our IT wing leadership, Raj Yogini, Brahma Kumari, Dr. Nirmala Didiji, who is chairperson of the IT wing, and Rajogi Brahma Kumar Yaswant Bhai ji, national coordinator of the IT wing. Then I would like to thank our Rajogini Brahma Kumari Lina Didiji, who is Bhubaneswar Subzone in charge, and also the Rajogini Brahma Kumari Golap Didiji, who is center in charge of Patia, for giving us the encouragement and support. The most important, I would like to thank our sister Suman for sparing her time, giving her taking the session through us, taking the session with us, giving her insights on the life perspective, sharing various points, and I'm sure that will play an important role in our life, and it will make things better for each of us. I would like to thank the host Ritika Bahan for hosting this event very smoothly, and also the members of the IT wing, the organizing committee, who have been helping to make this event successful, helped directly or indirectly for this event. the most important, I would like to thank all the participants who have taken their time off from the busy schedule and joined us being part of the program and making it more interactive. Thank you again. Thanks, everyone. Thank you, sister, for your time. And I know you have accepted this in a very short notice. Original schedule was on 21st of January, and then we need to postpone it. And thank you for taking this.
I'm
for
so sorry
conducting
about
this.
that. On the 21st, like all of a sudden we had to cancel that.
No, I like to thank you for accepting to make this on 26th today. Thank you.
Thank you, Om Shanti.
Om Shanti.